Hey guys, in this tutorial we will learn Go programming language. So let's start. What's Go? Go is a cross-platform open source programming language. Go can be used to create high-performance applications. Go is a fast, statically typed, compiled language that feels like a dynamically typed, interpreted language. Go was developed by Google by Robert Griesemer, Rob Pike, and Ken Thompson in 2007. Go syntax is similar to C++. And what is Go used for? Web development for server side, developing network-based programs, developing cross-platform enterprise applications, and cloud native development. And why use Go? Go is fun and easy to learn. Go has fast runtime and compilation time. Go supports concurrency. Go has memory management and Go works on different platforms like Windows, Mac, and Linux, and etc. And Go install. You can find the relevant installation files at this URL and follow the instructions related to your operation system. To check if Go was installed successfully, you can run the following command in a terminal window: Go version, and which should show the version of your Go installation. Go install ID. An ID or integrated development environment is used to edit and compile the code. Popular IDs include Visual Studio Code or VS Code, Vim, Eclipse, and Notepad. These are all free, and they can be used to both edit and debug Go code. Note: web-based IDs can work as well, but functionality is limited. And we will use VS Code in our tutorial, which we believe is a good place to start. And you can find the latest version of VS Code at this URL. Let's create our first Go program. Launch a VS Code editor and open the extension manager, or alternatively press Ctrl-Shift-X. And in the search box, type Go and hit enter, and find Go extension by the Go team at Google and install the extension. And after the installation is complete, open the command palette by pressing Ctrl-Shift-P and type Go install update tools. Click and select all the provided tools and click OK. And VS Code is now configured to use Go. So open up the terminal window and type Go module or mod init, for example, hello. And we have go.module and module hello. And don't worry if you don't understand why we type this command. Just think of it as something that you always do and that you will learn more about in the later chapter. So for example, create a new file app.go, and so in app.go we have, for example, package main and import fmt and sorry fmt and func main and fmt.println and the famous word hello world. Save, and for run, go run app.go, run, and we have hello world. A Go file consists of the following parts: package, declaration, import packages, functions, and statements and expressions. So this is the last our code. Explain this code. In line 1, in Go every program is part of a package. We define using the package keyword, and in this example the program belongs to the main package. And line 2, import fmt. Let's import files included the fmt package. And line 3, a blank line, and go ignores white space. Having white spaces in code makes it more readable. And line 4, func main, and func main is a function, and any code inside it, curly brackets will be executed. And line 5, fmt.println is a function made available from the fmt package, and it's used to output or print text. And in our example, it will output hello world. And note, in Go, any executable code belongs to the main package. And Go statements. fmt.println hello world is a statement. In Go, statements are separated by ending a line or hitting the enter key or by a semicolon. Hitting the enter key adds semicolon to the end of the line implicitly and doesn't show up in the source code. And the left curly bracket cannot come at the start of a line. And we have this code. So run again. Go run app.go, and we have hello world. And you can write more compact code. So for example, and we have this code, and save and run, and we should have a semicolon. And so what's wrong? Yeah, in here we have semicolon and semicolon. Save and run, and we have hello world. But this is not recommended because it makes the code more difficult to read. A comment is a text that is ignored upon execution. Comments can be used to explain the code and to make it more readable. Comments can also be used to prevent code execution when testing an alternative code. Go supports single line or multi-line comments. Go single line comments. Single line comments start with 2 forward slashes. Any text between 2 forward slashes and the end of the line is ignored by the compiler and will not be executed. So for example, in here we have a comment. This is a comment, and for example in here we have a comment. Save and run, and we have hello world. And for example, we can have a single line comment at the end of a code line. For example, in here we have a comment. Run again, and hello world. And multi-line comments. Multi-line comments start with this, so, and end with this. And any text between these will be ignored by the compiler. So for example, this is a comment, and run again, and we have hello world. Go variable types. In Go, there are different types of variables. For example, we have int for store integers or whole numbers, such as 123 or minus 123. And we have float 32 Float 32 stores floating point numbers with decimals. And a string. A string stores text such as hello world. String values are surrounded by double quotes. And bool. Bool stores values with two states, true or false. And declaring or creating variables. In Go, there are two ways to declare a variable. So the first is with the var keyword. Use the var keyword followed by variable name and type. So the syntax is var keyword and variable name and type and value. And note, you always have to specify either type or value, or both. And the second way is with this sign. Use this sign followed by the variable value. So the syntax is variable name and this sign, and we have value. And note, in this case the type of the variable is inferred from the value. Means that the compiler decides the type of the variable based on the value. And note, it's not possible to declare a variable using this way without assigning a value to it. And variable declaration with initial value. If the value of a variable is known from the start, you can declare a variable and assign a value to it on one line. So for example, var student1 is a string and the value is John. And the second student is student2 and remove the type, and we have Jane, and we have x is 2, and so in here type is a string, and in here type in thread, and copy this, paste here. And so fmt dot print ln student1 x. So run, and we have John, Jane, and 2. And note, the variable types of student2 and x is inferred from their values, a string and integer. And variable declaration without initial value. In Go, all variables are initialized. So if you declare a variable without an initial value, its value will be set to the default value of its type. So for example, we have var a as a string, var b as integer, var c as a boolean, and fmt dot print a, b, and c. Save and run. So we have 0 false and an empty string. This is and this. And value assignment after declaration. It's possible to assign a value of a variable after it's declared. This is helpful for cases the value is not initially known. So for example, after this, var student 3 and a string, and a student 3 is, for example, Sarah, and fmt dot print student 3 and run. We have Sarah. And note, it's not possible to declare a variable using this sign. Sorry, this sign. And without assigning a value to it. And difference between var and this. There are some small differences between the var and this way for declare a variable. Var can be used inside and outside of functions, and variable declaration and value assignment can be done separately. But in this way can only be used inside functions, and variable declaration and value assignment cannot be done separately. Must be done in the same line. So for example, outside the function, var a, or var a is int, so comment these codes, var a is int, var b as int is 2, and var c is 3, and in here a is 1, and on comment save, and you have a, b, and c. A is 1, b is 2, and c is 3. Run, and 1, 2, and 3. And since this sign is used outside the function running the program results, and we have an error. So for example, d is 1, and in here fmt.print d, run, and we have an error, non-declaration statement outside function body. In Go, it's possible to declare multiple variables in the same line. So for example, var a, b, c, and d as integer is 1, 3, 5, and 7, and fmt dot print ln a, b, c, and d. Save and run, and 1, 3, 5, and 7. And if the type keyword is not specified, you can declare different types of variables in the same line. So for example, comment this, and var a and b are 6 and hello, and c and d are 7 and word, and print abcd, run, and we have 6, 7, and hello world. And Go variable declaration in a block. Multiple variable declarations can also be grouped together into block for greater readability. So comment and use var keyword, a block, and a as integer, and b as int is 1 and C as a string is hello, and remove this, run. We have 0, 1 and hello. And naming roles. A variable can have a short name like its x and y, or a more descriptive name, for example age, price, car name, and etc. Go variable naming rules. A variable name must start with a letter or an underscore character. A variable name cannot start with a digit, and a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. And variable names are case sensitive. For example, age and age and age and are three different variables. And there is no limit on the length of the variable name. And a variable name cannot contain spaces. And the variable name cannot be any Go keyword. And multi-word variable names. Variable names with more than one word can be difficult to read. There are several techniques you can use to make them more readable. Camel case. So, for example, my variable name is John, and this is camel case. Each word except the first start with a capital letter. And for example, we have Pascal case. Each word starts with a capital letter. So my variable name and M is capital. And we have ethnic case. Each word is separated by an underscore character. So my variable name is John. If a variable should have a fixed value that cannot be changed, you can use the const keyword. The const keyword declares the variable as constant, which means that it's unchangeable and read-only. So the syntax is const name and so const name, and we have type and value. And note, the value of a constant must be assigned when you declare it. And declaring a constant here, so for example, in here, const p is 3.14 and fmt dot print ln p, run, and we have 3.14. And constant rules. Constant names follow the same naming rules as variables. Constant names are usually written in uppercase letters for easy identification and differentiation from variables. And constants can be declared both inside and outside of a function. And constant types. There are two types of constants: typed constants and untyped constants. So typed constants are declared with a defined type. So for example, in here, const a as integer is 1, fmt dot print ln a, run, and we have 1. And untyped constants. Untyped constants are declared without the type. So for example, const b is 2, fmt.print b, run, and we have 2. And note, in this case, the type of the constant is inferred from the value. Means the compiler decides the type of the constant based on the value. And constants unchangeable and read-only. When a constant is declared, it's not possible to change the value later. So for example, const c is 3 and c is 4. fmt.print c, run, and we have an error, cannot assign to c. Go has 3 functions to output text: print, println, and printf. The print function prints its arguments with their default format. So where I and j are a string and the values are hello and verb, and fmt dot print I and j. Save and run. We have hello world. And if we want to print the arguments in new lines, we need to \n. So in here we have \n. Save and run again. Hello and word in new lines. And it's also possible to only use one print for printing multiple variables. So cut this or remove this, and remove this. So \n and j. Save and run again, and we have hello world. And if you want to add a space between string arguments, you need to use an empty string, an empty space, and run again. We have hello world. So copy and paste. In here we have \n and comment. And print inserts a space between the arguments if neither are strings. So comment this fmt dot print I and j. Save and run again, and we have hello world without a space. And for example, change values, for example 10 and 20, and the type is int, and run again. We have 10 and 20. And the println function. The println function is similar to print, with the difference that the white space is added between the arguments and the new line is added at the end. So comment this fmt dot print ln and I and j. Save and run. We have 10 and 20. Or for example, change to hello and world. Save and run, and we should have hello world. So what's wrong? Yeah, the type is wrong, a string, and run again, and we have hello world. And the printf function. The printf function first formats its arguments based on the given formatting verb and then prints them. Here we will use two formatting verbs. Present v is used to print the value of the arguments, and present t is used to print the type of the arguments. So for example, we have fmt dot printf, and so I has value present v and type present t and \n, and we have I and I, sorry, in here I and I. Save, and so yeah, copy and paste, and j has value present v and type present t and j and j. Save and run. J has value hello and type string and j has value word and type string. Arrays are used to store multiple values of the same type in a single variable, instead of declaring separate variables for each value. So, declare an array. In Go, there are two ways to declare an array. So, the first is with the var keyword. So, syntax is var keyword and array name and equal sign. We have length and data type and values, and or we can't remove length and three dots, and in here length is defined, and in here length is inferred. And the second way is with the equal sign, this sign. So the syntax is array name and equal sign. We have length and data type and values, and length is defined, and or we can have remove the length and three dots, and length is inferred. And note, the length specifies the number of elements to store in the array. In Go, arrays have a fixed length. The length of the array is either defined by a number or is inferred. So for example, we have var array1 and the length is 3, data type is int, and values 1, 2, and 3. Or we have array2 and this sign, the length is 5, data type is int, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And fmt dot print array1 and array2. Save and run. We have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Or for example, declares two arrays, array1 and array2, with inferred length. So comment, copy and paste here, remove comment, array1, so 3 dots and 3 dots, run again, and we have the same result. And for example, declares an array of strings. So copy and paste, and array1, so the length is 4, the name is for example cars, remove this, and the length is 4, type is a string, and the values are, for example, Volvo, BMW, and Ford, and the last is Mazda. And print cars. Run, and you have Volvo, BMW, Ford, and Mazda. And access elements of an array. You can access a specific array element by referring to the index number. In Go, array indexes start at 0. That means that index 0 is the first element, index 1 is the second element, and etc. So, show how to access the first and third elements in the, for example, prices array. So, comment and create a prices, and the length is 3, int, and 10, 20, and 30. fmt dot print prices index 0 and index 2. This is index 0 and this is index 2 and this is index 1. So run. We have 10 and 30. And change elements of an array. You can also change the value of a specific array element by referring to the index number. So for example, prices index 1, for example, is 50, and fmt dot print prices index 1, copy this and paste here, and paste and paste, and separator, for example, a line, save and run. So we have 10, 20, and 30, and in here we have 50. And array initialization. If an array, so for example, remove the index and run again, we have 10, 50, and 30. So array initialization. If an array or one of its elements has not been initialized in the code, it's assigned the default value of its type. The default value for int is 0 and the default value for a string is an empty string. So comment, and array 1 is, so this sign, length is 5, int, and the values are null or not initialized. And array 2, 5 and int, and 1 and 2. So this is not initialized, this is partially initialized. So copy this, and the last is array 3 and 5, int, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is fully initialized. And fmt dot print array 1, array 2, and array 3. Run, and we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, and the next are 0, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And initialize only a specific elements. It's possible to initialize only a specific elements in an array. So for example, array 1 is this, and index 0 is 10 and index 2 is 20 or 40. And fmt dot print array 1, save and run. Index 1 is 10, index 2 2 is 40, and 0, 0, and 0. And find the length of an array. The length function is used to find the length of the array. So copy the cars array, copy this, and change the name to array1 and array2, and for example in here we have int, remove the values, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. fmt dot print array1 and array2, save and run. So sorry, len function and len of array1 and len length of array2, run, and we have 4 and 6, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Slices are similar to arrays, but are more powerful and flexible. Like arrays, slices are also used to store multiple values of the same type in a single variable. However, unlike arrays, the length of a slice can grow and shrink as you see fit. So in Go, there are several ways to create a slice. So the first is using the length and data type and values format, and the second is create a slice from an array, and the last is using the make function. And so create a slice with this way. So the syntax is a slice name and equal sign, length, data type, and values. So for example, my slice is an empty slice, and fmt dot print ln my slice and run. We have an empty slice. Or change the slice to 1 and 2 and 3, save and run. 1, 2, and 3. So this code declares a slice of integers of length 3 and also the capacity of 3. In Go, there are two functions that can be used to return the length and capacity of a slice. Length function returns the length of the slice or the number of elements in the slice. So len my slice, and we should have 3, and cap function returns the capacity of the slice or the number of elements the slice can grow or shrink to. Change to cap, and we have 3. So for example, another example, my slice 1 is int and without value, and so my slice, and you have Go and slices and R and powerful, and fmt dot print ln my slice cap my slice and len my slice. Save, and so change the data type to a string, sorry, and Go slides are powerful, and the capacity is 4, and length is 4. So create a slice from an array. So comment these, and so we can create a slice by slicing an array. So the syntax is var array is this, and length, data type and values, and a slice is array, and set the start and end. So for example, we have array is a array 6 int, and set values 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, and 15. Set create a slice array, and start is 2 and end is 4, and fmt dot print ln. So my slice, and we have length of a slice, and we have capacity and cap of a slice. So run, and we have 12 and 13, index 2 and index 4, length is 2 and capacity is 4. So in this example we have a slice with length 2, and it's made from array and which is an array with length 6, and the slice starts from the second element of the array, which has the value 12, and the slice can grow to the end of the value. This means that the capacity of the slice is 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if a slice started from element 0, the slice capacity would be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Change to 2, change 2 to 0, run again, and the capacity is 6. And create a slice using the make function. The make function can also be used to create a slice. So the syntax a slice is make function, we have type and length and capacity, and if the capacity parameter is not defined, it will be equal to length. So for example, slice, comment these codes. For example, slice is make, we have int, the length is 5 and capacity is 10. So copy these, paste, and we have fmt print a slice, length of a slice, and capacity of a slice. Run. We have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. The length is 5, and we have 5 zeros. Length 5 and capacity is 10. Or create another slice, slice 2, make int, and remove the capacity, slice 2, 2, and 2. Run again, and we have length is 5 and capacity is 5. You can access a specific slice elements by referring to the index number. In Go, indexes start at 0. That means that index 0 is the first element and index 1 is the second element, and etc. So we have a slice, the name is prices and type is int, and the values are 10, 20 and 30. fmt dot print prices index 0 and index 2 like arrays. Run, and you have 10 and 30. And change elements of a slice. You can also change a specific slice elements by referring to the index number. So for example, prices index 2 is 50, and print prices. Run, and we have 10, 20 and 50. And append elements to a slice. You can append elements to the end of a slice using the append function. So for example, comment, and we have a slice 1 int, and so copy, paste, slice 1 and 1. Run, save and run. We have the slice length is 6 and capacity is 6. So, and slice 1 is append use append method, and send slice 1. And for example, so first I show you the syntax. Slice is append, slice name and or slice element 1, element 2 and etc. So the elements 1 is 20 and element 2 is 21, and copy and paste. Run, and we have 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 and 20 and 21. Length is 8 and capacity is 12. And append one slice to another slice. To append all the elements of one slice to another slice, use the append function. So comment, and we have the syntax is slice 3, another is append, and send slice 1 and slice 2, and we have this, and this is necessary when appending the elements of one slice to another. So for example, we have a slice 1 int and values 1, 2 and 3, copy and paste. Slice 2 4, 5 and 6, and slice 3 is append slice 1, slice 2 and 3 dots. Copy this, paste here, and So in here we have slice3, slice3, and slice3. Save and run. So what is the error? Slice3, yeah. In here we have this, and we have 1, 2, 3, slice1, 4, 5, and 6, slice2. The length is 6 and capacity is 6. And change the length of a slice. Unlike arrays, it's possible to change the length of a slice. So comment, and for example we have an array 1, length is 6 and these values, and we have a slice1 array 1 and 1 and 5, and copy, paste, send a slice 1 and save and run. So we have this result 10 and 230. So in here slice 1 is array 1 and 1 and 3, and copy and paste. So run again, and we have this result 10 and 11, and length is 2 and capacity is 5. And so for example slice 1 is append slice 1 and 20, 21, and 22 and 23, and copy and paste, save and run, and we have this slice. So slice 1, 10 and 11, and 20, 21, 22, and 23, length is 6 and capacity is 10. So in here change length by reslicing the array, and in here change length by appending items. So in here we have 4, in here we have copy and paste for separate slices, save and CLS run. And so in here we have length 4, length 2, and length 6. And memory efficiency. When using slices, Go loads all the underlying elements into the memory. If the array is large and you need to only a few elements, it's better to copy those elements using the copy function. The copy function creates a new underlying array with only the required elements for the slice, and this will reduce the memory used for the program. So comment, and the syntax is copy and dest and src. The copy function takes in two slices dest and src and copies data from src to dest. It returns the number of elements copied. So we have a array numbers sorry, a slice 3 4 5 6, sorry. And 50, and remove additional comma. So copy this, paste, and set numbers, and we have in here original slice. Save and run, and we have this slice. Length is 15 and capacity is 15, and create copy with only only needed needed numbers. So needed numbers is numbers and len numbers minus 10. And so first fmt dot print needed numbers, so we have 1 2 3 4 and 5. So from 0 to len is 15 minus 10 is 5, 0 to 5. And so we have needed numbers, and numbers copies make, for example, int and len needed numbers, and fmt dot print numbers copy, run again, and we have this result 5 zeros. And so copy numbers copy and needed numbers, save, and copy this, paste here, send numbers copy, save, and run. Sorry. So for prettier fmt dot print this, save, and run. So we have 1 2 3 4 and 5. Length is 5 and capacity is 5. Conditional statements are used to perform different actions based on different conditions. So Go conditions. A condition can be either true or false. Go supports the usual comparison operators from the mathematics. So for example, we have less than or equal, greater than or equal, and equal to and not equal to. And additionally, Go supports the usual logical operators. So we have and we have or, and we have not. And you can use these operators or their combinations to create conditions for different decisions. And Go has following conditional statements. Use if, so the first is if, use if to a specified block of code to be executed, and if a specified condition is true. And we have else, and use else to a specified block of code to be executed if the same condition is false. And we have else if, and use else if to specify new condition to test, and if the first condition is false, and switch, and use switch to specify many alternative blocks of code to be executed. And if a statement, use the if statement to specify block of Go code to be executed if a condition is true. So the syntax is if condition and block, and code to be executed if condition is true. And remove this, and note that if is and lowercase letters, uppercase letters will generate an error first. So for example, this and this. So for example, in the next example, we test two values to find out if 20 is greater than 18. If the condition is true, print some text. So for example, if 20 is greater than 18, fmt dot print 20 is greater than 18. Save and run, and 20 is greater than 18. And we can also test variables. So for example, x is 18 and y is 20, and if y greater than x, fmt.print 20 is greater than 18, and we have the same result. And if I change the condition, and we don't have any results. And if else statement, use the else statement to specify a block of code to be executed if the condition is false. So we have if condition block of code and else and the block of code. So copy this and code to be executed if condition is true, and code to be executed if condition is false. So for example, in this example, time is 20 is greater than 18. So if condition is false, so to write the code, time is 20, and if time greater is less than 18. So fmt dot print good day. and else. So this condition is false. Because of this, we move on to the else condition and print fmt dot print good evening. And if the time was less than 18, the program would print good day. So save and run. So what is the error? So we should have this, and we have good evening. So if I change the time to 10 is less than 18, and we must have good day and good day. And the brackets in the else, so we have an error. The brackets in the else statement should be like this. And else if statement. The else if statement use the else if statement to specify new condition if the first condition is false. So copy this, paste here. We have if in here, else if, and condition 2, and a code block, and copy this, paste. So code to be executed if condition is true, and code to be executed if condition 1 in here, condition 1 is false, and so remove these comments for better see. Also these. So code to be executed if condition 1 is false and condition 2 is true, and else code to be executed if condition 1 and condition 2 are both false. So for example, shows how to use an else if statement. So we have copy the last example. Time is 22. If time is less than 10, print good morning, and else if time less than 20, copy this, print, paste, and for example good day, and else good evening. So run. So remove this. Time is in here declared, and run. And so comment and declare time, and we have good evening. Time is 22, is not less than 10, and is not less than 20. So for example, change 22 to 12, run, and we must have good day. Time is not less than 10 but is less than 20, and change to 9, run again, and we have good morning. And nested if. The nested if statement, so you can have if a statement inside if a statements. This is called a nested if. So for example, we have if and condition 1 and in the if we have if condition 2, and so code to be executed if condition 1 is true. So and in here code to be executed if both condition 1 and condition 2 are true. So for example, we have a number is 20 if num is greater or equal to 10, fmt print num is more than 10, and if num is greater than 15, fmt dot print ln num is also more than 15, and in here else fmt.print num is less than 10. Save and run, and num is more than 10 and num is more than 15. So for example, change to 12 and num is more than 10 but is not more than 15. Use the switch statement to select one of many code blocks to be executed. The switch statement in Go is similar to the ones in C, C++, Java, JavaScript, and PHP. The difference is that it only runs the matched case, so it doesn't need a break statement. So the syntax is we have switch keyword and expression and a code block, and we have case keyword x and a code block and case y, code block and case z, code block, and etc. And we have a default keyword, and in here we have a code block. And the expression is evaluated once, and the value of the switch expression is compared with the values of each case. And if there is a match, the associated block of code is executed. And the default keyword is optional. It specifies some code to run if there is no case match. So for example, we have day is 4 and switch day, the expression is day, and case 1 fmt dot print ln Monday, copy so 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. And so If case 1, print Monday. If case 2, print Tuesday. If 3, Wednesday. So Wednesday. And if day is 4, Thursday. If 5, Friday. Saturday. And the last is Sunday. And so run, the day is 4 and we should have Thursday. Run and Thursday. And the default keyword. The default keyword specifies some code to run if there is no case match. So for example, change 4 to 8 and CLS, run again, and we have nothing. But create a default fmt dot print not a weekday. Run. So go into the switch, run again, run, and not a weekday. And only case values should have the same type as the switch expression. Otherwise, the compiler will raise an error. So for example, we have 8 and change for add for another case to, for example, or remove this and change 7 to a string 7 and run, and you have an error. So what's the error? Invalid case 7 in switch on day and cannot convert to type int. So back to int and run again, and not a weekday. It's possible to have multiple values for each case in the switch statement. So syntax is switch expression, and you have case. For example, in this case, we have case and y, x and y, sorry, and we have w and z, and we have a. So, for example, day is 5, and copy this switch and paste here. Switch day, case 1, 3 and 5. So CLS 1, 3 and 5, 2 and 4, and 6 and 7. So remove. If 1 or 3 or 5, add weekday. If day is 2 or 4, print even weekday. And if 6 and 7, we have weekend. And the default is not a weekday. So run, and we have odd weekday because day is 5 and this is. So change day to 2, run, and we have even weekday, not a weekday for this. So comment this. And so declare the day, run again, and we have even weekday, and change day to 6, we have weekend. The for loop loops through a block of code a specified number of times, and the for loop is the only loop available in Go. So loops are handy if you want to run the same code over and over again, each time with a different value. Each execution of a loop is called an iteration. The for loop can take up to can take up to 3 statements. So the syntax is use for keyword, statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3. And we have a code block and code to be executed for each iteration. Save. And statement 1 initialize the loop counter value, and statement 2 evaluated for each loop iteration. If it evaluates to true, the loop continues, and if it evaluates it to false, the loop ends. And statement 3 increases the loop counter value. And note, these statements don't need to be present as loops arguments. However, they need to be present in the code in some form. So, for example, for statement 1 is I is 0, statement 2 is I is less than 5, and the last statement is I plus plus. This means so I plus plus is I plus 1. And in here we have fmt.print I. Run, and we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And explain the code. I is 0, initialize the loop counter and set the start value to 0. And I is less than 5, continue the loop as long as I is less than 5. And I plus plus increase the loop counter value by 1 for each iteration. So for example, we have another for loop, and I is 0, I is less than 100, less than or equal to 100, and I equal plus equal to 10. This means so I is I plus 10, and save and run. So we have 0, 10, 20 to 100. And the continuous statement. The continuous statement is used to skip one or more iterations in the loop. It then continues with the next iteration in the loop. So, for example, I is 0, I is less than 5, and I plus plus, and in here if I is 3, continue, and print I. Run, and we have 0, 1, 2, 4, and 5, and we don't have 3. If I is 3, continue. And the break statement. The break statement is used to break or terminate the loop execution. So copy this, paste, and so I is 0 is less than 5, and I plus plus I is 3, break, and run, and we have 1, 0, and 2, and if I is 3, break the code. And note, continue and break are usually used with conditions. And nested loops. It's possible to place a loop inside another loop. Here the inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. So create a adjective 2, type is a string, and we have big and tasty, and we have fruits is length is 3, a string, and we have apple, orange, and banana. And for I is 0, I is less than len of adjective, and I plus plus, and create inner for j is 0, j is less than len of fruits, and j plus plus, and fmt print adjective index I and fruits index j, and comma, run. So we have an error, index out of range. So remove this equal sign and run again. And we have big apple, big orange, big banana, and big, and the 3 fruits. And we have tasty, tasty apple, tasty orange, and tasty banana. And the range keyword. The range keyword is used to more easily iterate over an array, a slice or map. It returns both the index and the value. And the range keyword is used like this. And comment this. So the syntax is for index and value is array, a slice or map, and code to be executed for each iteration. So for example, we have fruits, and for we have index or index and value, and range fruits. So in here, sorry, I forgotten the range in here, and range fruits, code block, fmt.print. So for example, we have index and value. Save and run. We have apple, index is 0, we have orange and banana, index 1 and 2. And tip, to only show the value for the index, you can omit the other output using an underscore. So for example, we have an underscore in here and we don't have index. Save and run. And we have apple, orange, and banana. And for example, you can omit the value, and we have index and print index. Save and run. And we have 0, 1, and 2. A function is a block of statements that can be used repeatedly in a program. A function will not be executed automatically when a page loads. A function will be executed by a call to the function. So, to create or often referred to as declare a function, so first use the func keyword, and specify a name for the function followed by parentheses, and finally add code that defines what the function should do inside curly braces. So in here I create a function function name. So for example, my message, and we have parentheses, function name, and func keyword, and curly braces, and in here we should have code fmt dot print ln I just got executed. And call a function. Functions are not executed immediately. They are saved for later use and will be executed when they are called. So in this example, we create a function named myMessage, and the opening curly braces indicates the beginning of the function code, and the closing curly braces indicates the end of the function, start and end. And the function outputs I just got executed. To call the function, just write its name followed by two parentheses. So in here we have my message and call the function. Save and run. And I just got executed. So remove this, save, run again, and we don't have results. And a function can be called multiple times. So copy and paste. We have for call and for I just got executed. And naming rules for Go functions. A function name must start with a letter, and a function name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. Function names are case sensitive. A function name cannot contain spaces. If the function name consists of multiple words, techniques introduced for multi-word variable naming can be used. And tip: give the function a name that reflects what the function does. A struct, or short for a structure, is used to create a collection of members of different data types into a single variable, while arrays are used to store multiple values of the same data type into a single variable. Structs are used to store multiple values of different data types into a single variable. A struct can be useful for grouping data together to create records. So declare a struct. To declare a struct in Go, use the type and struct keyword. So type struct and struct name and struct and curly braces member 1 and data type. And for example, we have member 2 and member 3. This is the syntax of declare a struct. So for example, we have person struct and a struct keyword. For example, we have name is a string, we have age is int, we have job is a string, we have salary is int. And tip: notice that the struct members have different data types. Name and job is of type string, and while age and salary is of type int. And access struct members. To access any member of a structure, use the dot operator between the structure variable name and the structure member. So for example, we have this struct and for example, where person 1 is a person and person 2 also is a person, and person 1 dot name is, for example, Mahdi, my name. Person 1 dot age is 17, my age. And person 1 dot job is programmer, and person 1 dot salary is 6,000, for example. And person 2, so copy this, person 2, and person 2 name is, for example, Sicily, and age is 20, the job is teaching or teacher, and for example 10,000. And access and print person 1 info. So fmt dot print ln person 1 dot name dot age dot job dot salary. Copy and paste. Separator and copy person 2, paste and paste. Remove this, save and run. So we have Mahdi 17, programmer 6,000, and Sicily 20, teacher and 10,000. And pass a struct as function arguments. So you can also pass a structure as a function argument. So for example, we have 2 persons, and for example, I create a function here, func print person is a function, and we have person as a person. So cut the person out the main function, paste here, and func print person, and fmt dot, so copy this, fmt dot person, and in here the name, we have age, we have job, and we have salary. Save, and so remove these prints and print person 1, and print person 2, and fmt dot print ln align. Save and run. So we have 2% and a separator. Maps are used to store data values in key value pairs. Each element in a map is a key value pair, and a map is an unordered and changeable collection that doesn't allow duplicates. And the length of a map is the number of its elements. You can find it using the len function. The default value of a map is nil. And maps hold references and to an underlying hash table. And Go has multiple ways for creating maps. So, creating maps using var and equal sign. So, var a as a map and key type and value type, and values are, for example, key 1, value 1, key to value 2, and etc. And creating map using equal sign. Remove the var a and equal sign map, and yeah. So for example, copy this and paste var a map, key type is a string, value type is a string. So for example, first key is brand and value is Ford, key 2 is model, value 2 is Mustang, and key 3 is year and the value is 1964. And for example, B is another map, a string, and the key type is a string and value type is int. So Oslo, for example, is 1, and for example, Bergen is 2, and copy 3 and 4. Round name is 3 and scavenger is 4. And yeah, so fmt dot print ln a, print ln b, save and run. So what is the error? Var a is map, a string and a string, run. So non-declaration statement, outside function, body. Oh, sorry. Run again, and we have map, brand is Ford, model is Mustang, and year is 1964, and map Oslo is 1, version is 2, rounding is 3, and the scavenger is 4. And note, the order of the map elements defined in the code is different from the way that they are stored. The data are stored in a way to have efficient data retrieval from the map, and creating maps using make function. So the syntax is, so copy these two lines where a, and we have make and map inside the make, and key type and value type, and for example with equal sign, make, map, key type and value type. So for example, create maps in Go using the make function. Copy this, paste here where a make, so comment these codes, and where make map, key type is a string, value type is a string, and the map is empty now, and a brand is Ford, Mustang is model, and year is 1964. And so copy this, and in here we have B is make, map, a string, and int, copy paste here. So sorry, A and B, copy this, so B Oslo is 1, B version is 2, this is 3, and the last. Remove commas, and yeah, and print A and B. Save and run, and we have the same result. So if I comment these codes and run again, A is an empty map. And creating an empty map, there are two ways to create an empty map. One is by using the make function, and the other is by using the following syntax. The syntax is var a map, key type, and value type. And note, the make function is the right way to create an empty map. If you make an empty map in a different way and write to it, it will causes a runtime panic. So copy this, paste var a map and a string and a string, run, and we have an empty map. And allowed key types. The map key type can be of any data type for which the equality operator is defined. These include booleans, numbers, strings, arrays, pointers, structs, and interfaces. And invalid key types are slices, maps, and functions. And these types are invalid because the equality operator this operator is not defined for them. And allowed value types. The map values can be any type. And accessing map elements. You can access map elements by this syntax. So by this syntax, value is map name and key. So for example, copy the A map, paste here. So we have a string and these values. So fmt dot print a, and for example model, run, and we have Mustang, or for example year, and we have 1964. And updating and adding map elements. Updating or adding elements are done by map name and key. So map name and key, equal sign, and value. So for example, we have a map and a, and year is 1970, a, and color is red. So this is updating an element and adding an element. Save and print A. So we have brand Ford, model Mustang, year is 1970, and color is red. And remove elements from map. Removing elements is done using the delete function. So for example, delete, so remove this, delete, we have a and delete year, and fmt dot print, cut this, paste here, and a, save and run. And we have brand Ford, model Mustang, and color is red, and we don't have year. And check for the specific elements in a map. You can check if a certain key exists in a map using so value and OK, map name and key. So if you only want to check the existence of a certain key, you can use a blank identifier in a place of val. So place of val, sorry. So we have a, and so val1. So print a first. So this is a. So remove this and val1 and OK1 are a and keys brand. Copy and paste. So we have color, we have day, and we have model, and we have year. val2, val3, val4, and we don't need to val and underscore. Okay, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And fmt dot print val1, okay, 1, copy and paste, 2, 3, 4, 5, remove, we don't have val5, and 4, 3, 2, 1, save and run. So we have 4 true, okay, 1 is true, we have 4, we have red, and we don't have day, false, and we don't have value, and Mustang is true, value model is Mustang, and we don't have year. And maps are references. Maps are references to hash tables. If two map variables refer to the same hash table, changing the content of one variable affect the content of the other. So comment, and so we have A and B is A, and fmt dot print A and B, copy and run. We have B and A. So B and, for example, color is blue, and fmt dot print after change B, and fmt dot print A and B, run. So we have B and A, and colors are blue.